Hey, it's me, Rob, and welcome to day 2. Man, I'm super excited. Yesterday, you dreamed big. You did it, right? I'm assuming you did it. If not, go back and do that. Dream big, write down, because the rest of this challenge is about figuring out how to be a better you and break through so you can start achieving those really big goals. All right? So you've done day number 1. Let's get going on day number 2. Here we go. Today I want you to raise your standards. This is the starting point to achieving your goals and dreams. Because understand that the standards you have in life, what you'll stand for and what you won't stand for, they got you here. They got you to where you are, and they won't take you any higher. So you have to raise your standards. You have to get to the point where you decide that the way I'm living, it's not good enough. And the way I want to live is a must, right? So how can you get to that point? How do you raise your standards? First of all, you need to take an honest look at your life, and I want you to get clear on what you'll no longer settle for in your life. When I decided to start my business and write my first book several years ago, I had to make the decision to no longer settle for my excuses of why I didn't have time, I didn't have money, it wasn't happening. I had to decide that if I was going to change some things in my life, I had to start by figuring out that the old standard just wasn't working. The old standard of making excuses and not checking things off my to-do list that mattered to me, right? I could get the to-do list done for work and some basic stuff, but when it came to changing my life, I had to realize that I need to get rid of this low standard I set for myself on tomorrow. The whole idea that tomorrow I'll get to it. That's a low standard, right? The same thing works if you're trying to get in shape. So when you get in shape, you have to make the choice that you'll no longer settle for your low standard of working out once in a blue moon, of eating greasy food, of, sitting around on the couch all night. Those are standards that you've set for yourself, and they get you the results that they're supposed to get you. So if you want to have a better life, you got to begin by saying, no more. My low standards, I'm not settling for them anymore. So get real, get realistic. This is kind of painful for people sometimes, but you got to write it down. You got to say, I will no longer make excuses. I will no longer, you fill in the blanks, because you know what your goal is. You know what you're trying to change. And then you have to get clear on what's important to you and what your life is really all about. So at this point, let's take the health example. You've got to get clear on what a healthy you looks like and why that's important. Because it needs to relate to the fact that if you don't take care of yourself, eventually, other people are going to have to take care of you. And that's the decision I made a long time ago. I knew I didn't want to be a liability to my family. I didn't want to be someone that they had to care for. I know they would do it, and I know they would do it lovingly, but I don't want to be that burden. And it's my responsibility before I get ill, before I get to the point where I can't take care of myself, to take care of myself so that I don't reach that level. So the new standard I set for myself was drinking lots of water, getting regular exercise, getting the right amount of sleep and rest, learning how to think clearly so I don't have stressful, frustrating thoughts, and finding ways just to be healthier, eat healthier, take care of myself. So I had to raise the bar. And that's what today is all about. Think about that big goal you have and ask yourself, what will I no longer settle for in my life? And then get clear on what your new standards are. So there you go. Write those down and have a great day, guys. Go live intentionally.